Hello and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Ingle and today we're going to talk about how to get long hair into a wig cap quickly. Currently, my most watched video on my channel is how to put long hair into a wig cap. But I had a little situation that day where I didn't know yet how properly to use cameras. The autofocus is terrible, and the autofocus made my entire camera and the tripod sway like this. So if you look at the comment section, all the questions are like, are you filming on a boat? Was there an earthquake? You're making me seasick. So we're going to do take 2, the updated version of how to put long hair into a wig cap fast, and it's even faster than it was before. When you put your hair into a wig cap, whether it's long or short, something that's important is you need something for your wig to latch onto, especially if you're doing things like princess parties or events around kids or wearing a heavy wig. That wig is gonna start to slide backwards and pull off, and that is not what you want. You want your wig to stay in place. So I'm gonna show you today a way that whether you have really long hair or actually this even still works with really short hair, which is something that's really cool. You can use this. All methods is a fast way to get your hair into a wig cap and have something sturdy for your wig to latch onto. The key to this, that's different than before, is we have a wig cap that is mesh and it has a big hole in the other end. And then this thingy, I don't really know what it's called. I'm sure I'll probably get people in the comments being like, dummy, this is what it's called. But this is what we're gonna use to keep your wig from sliding. Without any further ado, I'm just gonna show you what to do. There's no braids, no pin curls. You just stick your face in. Oh, and then we're gonna pull our hair out. And if your hair is shorter, then it's not gonna be quite that much hair. You get this lined up, and mine, ooh, I've got an earring in there, and it has like a little ear cuff that is a lantern. So it's like Rapunzel teaching you how to put your hair into a wig cap. Super appropriate. So basically what you want to do is get this nice and tight. So you've got this band around your head, and then you want to stuff all of your hair in that hole, and that's why you need the one with the big hole on the end. Basically, you want to smush it around on your head until it is as flat as possible. Kind of twist this around here, so you're basically closing up that hole, and then you're pulling it back over your head. I think we got it. I think we got it. And you can still adjust if you've got it lumpy in some areas. I mean, I'm not actually going to any events with this today, so I'm gonna deal with the fact that it's lumpy. You can smooth it to your head as much as you want, but there. We have one other step. We have this little guy right here. So that looks like the right side. It's like right there in the picture. You loop this around. And just make sure it's nice and tight. And now you have a band. It gives your bobby pins or wig pins something to hold on to. That should be a lot faster than pin curls and braids. And you basically now you've got your hair all up and ready to put your wig on. In fact, I will show you today. Since I didn't last time when I got so many people like, how do you put the wig on? Okay, I'll show you how to put the wig on today. Disclaimer, this wig is what I wore in our Edwardian princess shoot, and I had it very fluffed and Edwardian, and I have not even brushed it out since then, so it's a mess. So here we have the very messy Ariel. I'm amused by the dumbest things. This particular wig doesn't have ear flaps so much, but it does have these little tabs. You're just gonna wanna make sure that those tabs are even on either side of your head so that the wig's not lopsided. I kinda hook it over the back a little bit and then just start pulling it over and adjusting. The key thing with a wig, I think, is just not being afraid to keep adjusting, because when you first put it on your head, it's gonna look like a hot mess. Honestly, this wig is such a mess, it's gonna look like a hot mess even when we're done, but
Yeah, got an aesthetically pleasing configuration of hair.
I would usually probably flatten it a little more to my head. There would be bangs with Ariel. Like I said, this is a terrible example. Sometimes I will take a wig pin and I will secure in the back. Take another one, put it on the other side. When it's secured in the back, then you can play with the front a little more. Like I said, it's gonna look a mess. I personally really like the wig pins. Some people prefer bobby pins. I wind up using both. The key is you want to take some of these front hairs here to hide this hair here. There's a few things you can do. Some people use gels to kind of put them back. Some people use hairsprays to get them back. I like to arrange the wig so it's covering them as much as possible. What I also do is I actually put, like if I'm doing Elsa, I'll put foundation in my hair to make these little baby hairs light and match the colors of the wig. If you have an Ariel wig, there's different things that you can use. I found this NARS. It's an eyeshadow in the color Persia. I take a little bit of that and I put it on the hairs sticking out too, so it matches the color. So even if you see some of it sticking through, it just looks like the wig. We're gonna put this right in here, and I do it behind this initial big piece right here because we want this piece to hang down. A lot of times they'll have like little sideburns cut into wigs too, and you just wanna make sure it's behind that, like underneath the hairs and attached into that band that you put on your head. And that way it's kind of pushing these hairs forward that are gonna cover all of those baby hairs so you don't have those sticking out. And then again, the same thing on the side. Whoa, yeah, you can totally see that. I'm gonna pull this down a little. Terrible wig to use an example, but you can see, I know a lot of people last time were like, why didn't you show us how to put the wig on your head? So this is really not cute. Make sure, especially for princess wigs, something they know at the parks, they know that you're a new performer if you have a lot of space, like you have a really big forehead. The closer you have it down to your eyebrows, usually the better. If you notice a lot of the characters, Elsa for instance, tiny, tiny, almost non-existent forehead. You've gotta be patient and pin it down what works for your head, for your face type, and just play with it. Play with it is key. Just make sure it's really secure. Look for gaps, and you just want it to frame your face and not have whatever weirdness is happening there. I actually asked you guys on my Instagram story what questions you had about wigs and wig caps in particular. So I'm gonna go and see what questions of yours we have to answer. Susie Fiala, I think that's how you say that. Susie Fiala asks, how can you get your hair in without having a bulge on the top under the cap? I think we kind of covered this a little bit, but with this method, you just want to take the time to spend to really smush your hair evenly all around. If you can't quite get it smushed in there evenly, you might want to use the old method because the pin curling your whole head will probably get it the flattest, probably, but this also avoids having lots of bobby pins. So play with it with your hair. I would just take the time to smush it all down in there in your little net and even it out, because if you're in a hurry and you just like plop it all in, okay, it's done, just take a couple, like a minute extra to just smooth it around and make sure it's head shaped and not like alien head shaped. Whimsical Fangirl says, how can I make a wig look natural on me? I have foot long hair. Foot long hair, you should be good because my hair is 3 feet long and it still works. It's just the more time you take to just kind of avoid that bulge situation, smush it around evenly, and then just play with it on your head. And I mean, I probably look ridiculous even answering these questions in this incredibly messy, unstyled wig, but here we are, and we're just rolling with it. Take the time, not like I'm doing today. This is kind of more like briefly showing you, but you can play with it. Kendra Gale Beam says, if you have crazy curly thick hair, like me, like her, not me, how to braid it so it doesn't look so big. Well, today we tried a method that doesn't involve braiding. So hopefully this works and you can really just smush it in there really well. So when you turn that wig cap there, make sure you just pull it really tight so it's squishing the hair down as much as possible and avoiding that poof. Chrissy Chrissy is ex-machinator. Is it machinauters? Machine otters? Machine otters. It's Chrissy. I know Chrissy is. Chrissy's my wig styling person with Princess Ever After. Baby hairs, I kind of mentioned you can gel. Hairspray sometimes works. What I recommend is if you just take a minute to like pin the wig in such a way that it's covering it, that helps. And then honestly, taking either foundation or an eyeshadow or something and putting that color into the hair, it works wonders because there's only so much you can do with that, especially when it's not a lace front wig, to make sure that it looks really natural. Someone asked in the past video, do you need a larger size wig if you have really long hair? Potentially. I would just recommend putting your hair into the wig cap like we did today and measuring your head with your hair inside of it. That way you can see what the actual circumference is with the hair included. Abby the Bumcom 101. How do you do it? Shut up! This is how you do it. I think that's what we answered here today. So hopefully that is helpful for you. Hopefully you enjoyed. You should give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. It's like a clapboard, only it's colorful. And everyone thinks that it's a makeup palette. Hey Google, will you turn the air off?
Sorry, I can't help with that yet.
Why? Ooh, look at that. I've got a nice red line on my head.